Greetings everyone, welcome back to my sketchbook. Today is Monday. Not just any Monday, today is Minecraft Monday. And for fun, I think we're going to draw one of the fundamental building blocks, literally, of the game. But before I get into that, I'm going to show you these, which I think are kind of cool. These are Rubik's Cubes. Now this is a 2x2. Kind of a neat thing. Most famous is the 3x3. You could even get like a 3x1, which is kind of a neat thing. 4x4s, you can get even a 5x5, you can get a 6x6. I have a 7x7. I used to have a 12x12 puzzle block, and I gave that to somebody who I knew would really appreciate it. The building blocks of Minecraft, well, the main types, there's kind of 8, but I mean there's more. I mean you get like obsidian, redstone, brick and grass, honeycomb, emerald, TNT, and glass. Yeah, it's kind of some poetry there. Anyway, so let's draw a grass block. I'm going to use 2 main colors of markers to start, and this is just going to be a complicated but fun way of doing this. So I'm going to start off by actually doing the diamond shape first, and you know what, let's zoom in on this and see if I can get that to lock down, at least on this pen. If it'll do it. Oh, let's go. We'll get back into that if we have to. So I'm going to start off by drawing the diamond first. And no, not like a blue diamond. That's just the, the block, basically. That's going to be the top. Straight down from that just a little bit, I'm going to put sort of the sides. I'm starting off with doing it light first because if I go dark, I don't want the dark marker to bleed into the light marker. Anyway, next I'm going to go with light brown, which makes up the bottom part of the block. And I kind of want these sides to be kind of the same, which is an attribute of a square, of course. It doesn't have to be perfect. Mind you, this is your sketchbook. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can use, I don't know, one of these. You can use a ruler if you like. You don't have to, but when you make an angle like that there, you're going to have to make one comparable down here. Let that meet up. Same on this side over here. So, because we know the grid patterns of the grass block, it's basically a 16 by 16. And I think the easiest way to do that is by cutting things kind of in half as you go. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to find the midpoint of this block here. I'm just cutting it in half. I'm going to find the mid part of this rectangle. I'm going to cut that in half. Then each one of those sections I'm going to cut in half as well. Do the same thing over here. This one in half, this one in half, and this one in half. If you count those up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not quite the 16. If we want to go another layer down, we can do that, but we're not going to do that for now. You can do that if you wish. We're making 8 by 8s. Following the same thing that we did before. That doesn't look so bad. Now I'm going to do half of the block green, although technically it's going to end up being more like, you know what, let's not do half of it like that. I want the top half to mostly be, anyway, we'll do this on the fly. So I'm going to do the bottom half here first. And I'll subdivide that. Ooh, lovely. And then I'm going to divide this in half. I'm going to save the top quarter as green. Then we'll change out the pixelation here soon enough. Let's go half of that. Then we'll divide that in half. And let it line up with the top blocks just for fun. This kind of in half, half again, and each one of those in half. We'll finish off the bottom blocks here in the brown. Ooh, I went to the next level up of brown. Let's go here. Half. Half again. Half. Half again. Okay. Next, I'm going to pick this as the dark side, and that's mainly because the natural shadow of my light, let's see, well, maybe that could be the dark side. Let's see if I can move that down a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to pick this to be the, you know what? It's pointing that way. So no, I am going to kind of go this way. This is going to be the dark side. And I'm going to trace that line out. And this is going to be the darkest brown that I'm going to use. So I have light, medium, and dark. And let's see what we can do. So that's going to be the dark side. This is going to be the dark side for the green as well. And I have 3 separate greens. So I'm going to go with the darkest green here. And just make sure that I have that kind of highlighted. Now, in my brain, since this is going to be the darkest side, I'm going to use mainly the darkest colors I can, and I'll only use them on this side. Go with 2s and yaw. Go with another dark one here. Maybe a dark one here. Dark in this corner. So I have each one of the corners kind of dark. Why not? We'll put one here. And then the medium green to kind of fill in the rest of them. We're not going to use the lightest one there. Just like that. This isn't the official way to do this. I'm just doing it this way for my own kind of amusement. The top is going to be the lightest thing, I think. So I'm going to use mostly the lightest greens up here, and I'm just going to randomly move in some of this green. And I'm going to trick this as well. And by trick, I mean some of them I'm not going to fill in at all. And you'll see what I'm going to do here at the end anyway, as I often will do. Kind of do this sort of a gouache kind of spill over with some water and a brush, which I think is fun. A gouache, using the medium green now. I'm going to trace out this line just a little bit so that I know where the edge is supposed to be. And then only a few of these am I going to put in as random spaces of green pixelation. I don't want it to look too much like a checkerboard. This side here, I'm going to just sort of drop in some green. And it's going to be kind of in between the darkness. So this is going to be the darkest side. We'll get to that other bit in a moment. We won't use any light spots on this one, so we left some blank up here. We're not going to do the same down here. We're going to fill in the rest in the here in the light. So we have medium and light on this side, medium, light, and blank, and then dark and medium there. Over here now we get to the brown. This is going to be medium and light and dark, but mostly medium and light. We'll see how the gouache makes it look. The washing, we'll let some of that kind of make its way up there as well. So if you haven't been here before, let me explain a little bit of what kind of nonsense I like to do. I like to treat a sketchbook as a fun place to just experiment with things, and it's not a great concern of mine to go for perfection. I think the sketchbook is a place where you just need to try to figure out why you want to do things the way that you are doing them. If that makes sense, that's kind of what I treat it like. Now I'm going to fill in a bunch of these with the lightest brown that I have. And I'm not going to use this light brown really over here on the darkest one. For fun, just a couple of the supposed darkest brown. And here it's going to be mainly dark brown. And I can put in some L's or some 7s shape-wise in here as well. And I'm not going to leave any blank spots, as it is the shadow side. So there's going to be a lot more of the dark ones here. I'm just kind of moving around, sort of randomly, but also very much trying to pick out certain spots that I think could use it. All right, now the medium will fill in the vast majority of the other stuff. You can see I'm not perfectly filling them all in. I am going to have a little bit of differentiation, if that's even a word. Again, using my finger here, I just want to see which way I really do want to have that light come from, using the light up above. Yeah, I really am going to come through that way. So the vast majority of the light is going to be coming from above, and we may capture a little bit of this side here, and mainly that side. So I'm going to use my, oh, let's dip this pen, which is also a water-soluble ink. And my shadow is going to be here. And it's not going to be a terribly long shadow. It'll get a little bit lighter as it goes. And then I'm going to get a little bit of this side here, but not much. It's going to be kind of a sharp angle. And I'm leaving a lot more space between those lines. I'll go a little darker there. All right. Put the pen away. Get out my cup of water and a brush. One of my favorites, the medium. No, why am I saying medium? Because I've been saying medium too much here. This is the #1 detailer brush. I'll start off by going light, and I'll work my way over to the medium side. This is kind of how I blend things without it being one of those alcohol markers. And the spots that I left blank, they're taking on some of the green anyway, but they're kind of blotchy. I'm trying not to go too far into the other sides. So that's the light top. This is the medium, and I'm not going to try to mix up these colors too much. So I'm just going to hover into that area just like that. I'm going to do the dark green next. And I'm just going to hover in the green as not to have the brown make its way up to the top part of the grass. Nothing too serious though. If you do, is just your sketchbook. Next, light side brown. I don't need to mix that up. I can just sort of dance in there. It's a little blotchy, but that's the way we like it. Now the dark side. We'll keep the line of green as it is. And now let's blend it all up a little bit. It's a little blotchy, but that is okay. And we'll remember not to mix up the dark lines as well. We want it to still kind of look square. It is a block after all. I'm going to revisit the lighter side here and just make sure that I have a line kind of there as well. Now the shadow, which we just did in black ink. I'm going to do the light side here first. Make those lines sort of disappear. Now, the dark side, where Darth Vader might hang out. Who, by the way, is a terrible terrible, I'm going to say it again, terrible, terrible, the terrible, terrible character. And, you know, you might think that they've been trying to redeem him. I don't know if he's redeemable. I think, you know, he's a terrible. Anyway, I can say that many times. Darth Vader is not a good guy. And the balance he brings to the Force, honestly, is kind of unknown to a lot of people in that world. They wouldn't have known him as Anakin Skywalker. And the balance that he brings is that he didn't let his son go to the dark side. So there you go. Was that Neville? It's been over 20 minutes. Well, that's what we get. I'm going to clean the brush here. I do believe that is it. We've made a complicated drawing of a block from Minecraft. We didn't go with a full 16 by 16. And over here, we're just going to say something like, ooh, and you know what? Let's write it on a little bit of an angle. Let's say right here. And we'll do a stylistic calligraphy B. Neville the cat is one of my timekeepers. We'll do another B over here. We'll let that curve in. We'll do the same on that, why not? The building block of we'll fix that up a little bit too. Easy enough? All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out for a minute or so. I will probably get back to you guys in regards to Inktober, because that should be fun. If you haven't been to Inktober, the main website, to get the prompts, I encourage you to do that and then come visit, and we'll do a 10-minute per day prompt just for fun. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a great week, and hopefully we'll see you at some point in the near future. All right, ciao for now.